Question number 27. Prove that 2 times tangent inverse 1 upon 2 plus tangent inverse 1 upon 7 is equal to tangent inverse 31 upon 17. Right? So we take left hand side. Left hand side, the very first term 2 tangent inverse 1 upon 2. We can convert this as tangent inverse of 2 times 1 upon 2 divide 1 minus 1 upon 2 whole square plus tangent inverse 1 upon 7. Why this? Because tangent inverse x, 2 tangent inverse x is equal to 2x divide 1 minus x square. This is the rule. Tangent inverse of 2x divide 1 minus x square. See, so we followed this rule. So this becomes tangent inverse. This is 1 upon 4 minus 1, 3 upon 4 plus tangent inverse 1 upon 7. So this means tangent inverse 4 upon 3 plus tangent inverse 1 upon 7. Now other rule, we know that tangent inverse x plus tangent inverse y is equal to tangent inverse of x plus y divide 1 minus x into y. Now we follow this rule. This becomes tangent inverse of 4 upon 3 plus 1 upon 7 divide 1 minus 4 upon 3 into 1 upon 7. So next this becomes tangent inverse 4 into 7, 28 plus 3, 31 divide 7 into 3, 21, 21 minus 4, 17. So this way, this is the right hand side, hence proved. Question number 28. Using properties of determinants, show that this determinant 1 plus a square minus b square etc. this is equal to 1 plus a square plus b square whole raised to power 3. So how to solve this question? Left hand side, our target is the first term 1 plus a square minus b square, and next target our I is at right hand side, that is 1 plus a square plus b square. So we have to convert this into right hand side. How? What we can do? First of all, we saw this first. Now we saw this 2b. What we should do so that this result is coming out? So I think we should add, and this is multiplied. So this will become 2b square. What was this? This was row 1, r1. Plus sign is here. B we taken up from our own side. 2b, this is the part of third row. So we want to convert now first row into this form, right? So we write here in the beginning, we write the operating r1 is equal to r1 plus b into r3, right? So let us see what happens. Left hand side is equal to first element as it is 1 plus a square minus b square plus b into r3. r3 is 2b. Simultaneously we shall do the same process for this. This is 2ab plus b into r3. b into r3 is minus 2a. Here also we follow the same process. Minus 2b is here plus this b into r3 is 1 minus a square minus b square, right? Simultaneously what we should do, comma, about r2 we try to make this also equal to 0. r2 equal to r2 mean to say we are watching 2ab and this is 2b. How these two should be operated so that result becomes equal to 0? Of course we should subtract and multiply this with a. That means r2 we did nothing, thereafter we take minus sign, a from our own side, 2b is r3, right? This is the way how we operated. Now what we are doing here, 2ab as it is minus a into r3 that is 2b. Here 1 minus a square plus b square minus a into minus 2a. Last time this is 2a, r2 is 2a minus a into this 1 minus a square minus b square, right? Now with third row we did nothing, we are writing all the elements with no change. 2b minus 2a 1 minus a square minus b square, there is no change. Now next what we are going to do, we are just solving them. First element becomes 1 plus a square, 1 plus a square minus b square plus 2b square. This becomes 2ab minus 2ab and this becomes minus 2b, uh, multiplying inside the bracket plus b minus a square b minus b power 3. Second row this becomes 2ab minus 2ab. Here this becomes 1 minus a square plus b square minus minus plus 2a square. This becomes 2a minus a minus minus plus a power 3 minus minus plus a into b power 2. Last row there is no change, 2b minus 2a 1 minus a square minus b square. So this way we have written. Now what we are going to do in third step, we are solving this, we are writing in short 1 plus a square minus b square plus 2b square plus plus 2b square minus b square. This becomes 1 plus a square plus b square. 2ab minus 2ab becomes 0. Minus 2b plus b becomes minus b. Next is minus a square b minus b cube, right? Next step 2ab minus 2ab, this is 0. Again here we have minus a square plus 2a square, that means 1 plus a square plus b square. Here also 2a minus a is a, right? Plus a cube plus a into b square. Third row there is no change, we write as it is 2b minus 2a 1 minus a square minus b square, right? So now in next step what is there, we have this is equal to 1 plus a square plus b square, this is 0 we can take here minus b common. So we are left with 1 plus a square plus b square. In second row also this is 0, 1 plus a square plus b square. Here we take a common. So we are left with 1 plus a square plus b square. In third row there is no change. So we write 2b minus 2a 1 minus a square minus b square. Right? Determinant sign as it is. Now what should be the next step? In the next step we take this common. What is taken common? 1 plus a square plus b square is taken common from row 1. So inside the row we are left with 1 0 minus b. In second row also we take 1 plus a square plus b square common. So outside this becomes square. So 0 1 a. Third row there is no change, that is 2b minus 2a 1 minus a square minus b square. This is left. Right? Now we just expand about either about row 1 or about c1. Let us expanding about c1. So we write this as the very first element we are writing here 1 plus a square plus b square in whole square. Because we are expanding about c1, so first of all we write 1 into determinant corresponding to this row 1 and column 1 we eliminate. We are left with the determinant of 1 minus 2a a 1 minus a square minus b square. Thereafter 0 corresponding to 0, something is multiplied with 0, everything becomes 0. Next is plus 2b into determinant corresponding to 2b. This row and this column is erased, so we are left with 0 1 minus b a. Right? So bracket is closed. Now we solve this. This becomes is equal to 1 plus a square plus b square whole square bracket. This will be multiplied with this, so we have 1 minus a square minus b square minus sign by default minus 2a into a. This becomes minus 2a square. Next time plus 2b into 0 into a 0 minus by default 1 into minus b minus b. So next this is equal to 1 plus a square plus b square its whole square bracket 1 minus a square minus b square minus minus plus 2a square plus 2b minus minus plus b. Right? So this is again equal to 1 plus a square plus b square its whole square into 1 minus a square plus 2a square becomes plus a square minus b square, this is plus 2b square, so equal to plus b square. Ultimately multiplying this becomes 1 plus a square plus b square whole power 3, which is the right hand side we wanted to prove. Using properties of determinant, show that the determinant value is equal to 1 plus a square plus b square whole raised to power 3. We have proved this. Question number 28, alternate choice or part. Find the equation of the line joining a13 and b00 using determinants. Also find k if d k comma 0 is a point such that the area of triangle ABD is 3 square units. So First of all, equation of the line, part 1. Let x comma y be any point on the line joining A and B, joining A and B. Therefore, determinant of x, y, 1, 1, 3, 1, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 1. This determinant is equal to 0. This means x into corresponding to x, row and column is erased. 3 into 1, 3 minus 0. Thereafter, corresponding to y, minus y into 1 into 1 minus 0 into 1. Lastly, this one, 1 into plus 1 into 1 into 0, 0 minus 0 into 3, 0. This is equal to 0. So this becomes 3x minus y plus 1 is equal to 0. So this is the required equation of the line. Okay, solution of first part. Now what is part 2? Find k if d k comma 0 is any point such that the area of the triangle is 3 square units. So here we have area of triangle ABD is equal to 3. That means area mean we have 1 upon 2 into determinant of this point. A point is 1, 3, 1. B point is 0, 0, 1. D point is K, 0, 1. Right? So this is equal to 3. Most of the elements are 0 in column 2. So we expand this about column 2. We have 1 upon 2 into plus minus minus 3 into corresponding to 3. We eliminate column and row. We are left with the determinant of 0, 1, 0k 1, 1. This determinant, the value is 3. This means 1 by 2 or minus 3 by 2, 0 into 1, 0, minus k is equal to 3. So this means 3k is equal to 6. Mean to say k is equal to 2 is the required value. Question number 29. Prove that 3 points A, B and C with position vectors A, B and C respectively are collinear if and only if vector B cross A plus C cross A plus A cross B is a zero vector. So here suppose the 3 points, they form a triangle, right? A, B, C. A is denoted by position vector A, B is denoted by position vector of B, C point is denoted by position vector C. So if A, B, C are collinear, then area of triangle ABC is equal to 0. This means 1 by 2 What is how to find area? AB side cross AC, this is equal to 0. So how to find AB? 1 by 2. AB mean position vector of B, which is equal to B minus position vector of A, cross AC vector mean position vector of C, which is C, minus position vector of A, which is A. This is equal to 0, right? So 0, it mean 0 vector. So this mean B, we can say B cross C, we should have B cross C minus B cross A minus A cross C minus minus plus A cross A is equal to 0 vector. So already first of all this was 0, but we have eliminated the determinant sign, magnitude sign. So this becomes 0 vector. So this means this A cross A is already 0. So we are left with B cross C minus A cross B. This becomes plus A cross B. This minus becomes plus. This will be reversed. C cross A is a 0 vector, right? So this way question is proved. Question number 30. Find the shortest distance between the following lines and hence write whether the lines are intersecting or not. This is first line, this is second line. So from first line we see what is A1. This is equal to I minus J Z0 plus 0K. And what is B1? Direction ratios. This is 2I plus 3J plus 1K. Likewise here, what is vector A2? This is equal to minus I plus 2J Z minus 2, which becomes plus 2K, right? So what is vector B2? This is equal to B vector, this is equal to 5I plus J Z minus 2 upon 0. From this we have 0K, right? So first of all we find B1 cross B2. That means I J K. B1 2 3 1, B2 is 5 1 0. Solving this, I cap 3 into 0 minus 1 minus 1 minus J into corresponding to J, row and column are eliminated. 2 into 0 0 minus 5 plus K cap into corresponding to K, row and column are eliminated. 2 into 1 2 minus 5 into 3 15. So we have this is equal to minus I plus j 5j minus 13k, right? Further, what is B1 cross B2? Its magnitude. this is equal to square root of minus 1 whole square plus 5 whole square plus minus 13 whole square, which is equal to square root of 1 plus 25 plus 169. This is equal to square root of 9 plus 5 13 14 15 6 7 8 9 195. Similarly, what is a2 minus a1? This is equal to a2 minus a1 is minus 1 minus 1 minus 2i 2 minus minus plus 1 3j 2 minus 0 plus 2k. Therefore, a2 minus a1 dot product b1 cross b2, this is equal to a2 minus a1 is minus 2i plus 3j plus 2k dot b1 cross b2 is minus I plus 5j minus 13k. Dot product, this becomes 2 plus 15, 2 into 13 minus 26, which is equal to minus 9. Now we find the shortest distance formula. Shortest distance is equal to magnitude of modulus of a2 minus a1 dot b1 cross b2 divide magnitude of b1 cross b2. So which is equal to, this numerator result is minus 9, after modulus this becomes plus 9. Magnitude of b1 cross b2 is square root of 195. This is the required shortest distance. Now second part of the question, write whether two lines are intersecting or not. So yes, the lines, no, the lines are not intersecting. Why these two lines are not intersecting? As they are skew. Skew lines. Skew lines mean neither intersecting nor parallel. So these two, because we have got the answer, the shortest distance we can find between the two skew lines, that is the reason we can say no, these two lines are skew lines, so they are not intersecting. Question number 30, or part, find the equation of the plane through the line of intersection of the planes. This is first plane and this is second plane, which is at a unit distance from the origin. So here required equation of the plane is first plane plus k times second plane is equal to 0. So what we can say, r vector dot I plus 3j plus k into 3i minus j minus 4k plus 6 plus 0k is equal to 0, right? So next we have, this mean r dot, we have 1 plus 3k I cap plus 3 minus k j cap plus minus 4k k cap plus 6 is equal to 0. In Cartesian form, we can write this as 1 plus 3kx plus 3 minus ky minus 4kz plus 6 equal to 0. So this is the plane and this is origin. Perpendicular distance from origin to this plane is given to be 1 unit. So we can say distance is 1 unit, equal to 1 plus 3k, in place of x we write 0, plus 3 minus k, in place of y we write 0, plus minus 4k, in place of z we write 0. Next is plus 6, whole inside the modular sign, divide square root of 1 plus 3k whole square, coefficient of x whole square, plus coefficient of y whole square, 3 minus k whole square, plus coefficient of z minus 4k whole square. Now this is equal to, which implies 1 is equal to 6 upon square root of 10 plus 26k square. Squaring both sides we have 10 plus 26k square is equal to 36. This means 26k square is equal to 36 minus 10, 26. That means k square is equal to 1. So the value of k is plus minus 1. We substitute this value of k here in this equation. First time put k is equal to 1, then we have the equation 4x plus 2y minus 4z plus 6 equal to 0, or we can say 2x plus y minus 2z plus 3 is equal to 0. Second time we can take k is equal to minus 1. Even then taking minus 1 common, then let us see what happens minus 1. Then we have 1 minus 3 becomes minus 2x, 3 plus 1 becomes 4y, minus 4k becomes 4z plus 6 equal to 0. Again dividing by minus 2 we have x minus 2y minus 2z minus 3 is equal to 0 is the required equation of the plane. So two equations we have obtained. Our next question is question number 31. A company produces two types of goods A and B that requires gold and silver. Each unit of type A requires 3 gram of silver and 1 gram of gold, while that of type B requires 1 gram of silver and 2 gram of gold. The company can use at the most 9 gram of silver and 8 gram of gold. If each unit of type A brings a profit of rupees 120 and that of type B rupees 150, then find the number of units of each type that the company should produce to maximize profit. Formulate the above linear programming problem LPP and solve it graphically. Also find the maximum profit. So let us solve this question. First of all, we make a table like this: goods A and B, gold, silver, and profit in rupees. According to the question, a company produces two types of goods A and B that require gold and silver. Each unit of type A, that is this, requires 3 gram of silver, 3 gram of silver and 1 gram of gold, while that of type B, for B, 1 gram of silver and 2 gram of gold. The company can use the at most 9 gram of silver, so less than or equal to 9. At most mean less than or equal to, and at most 8 gram of gold, so less than or equal to 8. If each unit of type A brings a profit of rupees 120 and that of type B rupees 150, then find the number of units of each type. So we make the function jet is the function 120x plus 150y, subject to the conditions. Subject to first condition is x plus 2y is less than or equal to 8. Second condition is 3x plus y is less than or equal to 9. Third condition is x comma y both are greater than or equal to 0. So it means the solution of the feasible region that will be only in first quadrant because of this condition. Goods are either they are produced or not produced. It means greater than or equal to 0. So now we try to make this solve this question. How to solve? First, this linear inequality that is converted into equality. X is 0, then y is 4, y is 0, then x is 8. For this, when x is 0, then y is 9, when y is 0, then x is 3. So we have to make up to 9, or this way: 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. Origin O. So here first point is A point. X is 0, y is 4. X is 0, y is 4. 2 3 4. So this point is A point. Second point is x is 8, y is 0. So this is the B point. B point, x is 8, y is 0. Now joining these 2 points, so this way we joined the line. Name of this line is x plus 2y equal to 8, right? So one side of this line is 0, so we put 0 0 in this inequality, becomes 0 is less than or equal to 8. Of course this is true, mean to say we have to shade towards 0 0. Now taking second line, x is 0, y is 9. So this is the point, x is 0, C is the name of this point, C. Second point is x is 3, y is 0. So 1 2 3. So this is the point, D point, D point. So again we join these 2 points this way. We have joined these 2 points. Name of this line is 3x plus y is equal to 9. Now what we see, these 2 lines intersect at P, mean to say we have to solve these 2 lines, that is x plus 2y is equal to 8. Second was 3x plus y is equal to 9. Multiplying first equation by 3, so we have 3x plus 6y is equal to 24. 3x plus y is equal to 9. Subtracting, we have 6 minus 1, 5y is equal to 15. That means y is equal to 3. So if y is equal to 3, substituting this value in one equation, 3x plus y is equal to 9, mean 3x plus 3 is equal to 9, 3x is equal to 6, x is equal to 2. So this way we found that P point is 2 comma 3. So according to put 0 0 in second line also, 0 is less than or equal to 9, this is also true. So we shade towards 0 0, mean to say this is the bounded region in the first quadrant only, right? So this is the feasible region. So here we find maximum or minimum value, right? Now we write here corner points. Corner points, they are first of all 0 0. Second corner point is A. The coordinate of A are 0 comma 4. Second point is P. Third point is P. P coordinates are 2 comma 3. Last point is D. Its coordinates are 3 comma 0, right? And Z function is 120x plus 150y. We substituting the values of these in this function, we get this result. Z is equal to 0, Z is equal to 600, Z is equal to 690, Z is equal to 360. So Z is equal to 690 is the maximum value. So maximum profit is obtained when x is 2, y is 3. So x mean the number of units of A. 2 units of A and 3 units of B are produced, then maximum profit is obtained. Next question, question number 32. A bag contains 5 red and 4 black balls. A second bag contains 3 red and 6 black balls. One of the two bags is selected at random and 2 balls are drawn at random without replacement, both of which are found to be red. Find the probability that these 2 balls are drawn from second bag. So we see that here we shall use Bayes theorem. Bayes theorem. What is Bayes theorem? Probability of E1 given that A has already occurred is equal to probability of E1 into probability of A given that E1 already occurred, divide probability of E1 into probability of A given that E1 already occurred, plus probability of E2 into probability of A, E2 already occurred. So from the last line, both of these are from find the probability that these 2 balls are drawn from second bag. So E1 we consider second bag, right? E2 we take first bag. So 2 bags, so probability of E1 is 1 by 2. Also probability of E2, out of 2 bags 1 is selected, this is also 1 by 2. Now what is A? One of the 2 bags is selected and 2 balls are drawn at random, both of which are found to be red. Both are red. So this way what we can say, probability of 2 red balls from E1 from second bag Second bag, how many red balls are there? First ball is red, 3 red balls are there. So first 3 out of total balls we have. So here I can have E1, that mean second bag, E2 mean first bag. So according to the question, second bag contains 3 red and 6 black, and first bag contains 5 red and 4 black. So two red balls are drawn from second bag. 3 upon 6 plus 3, 9. Second ball is again red, so 2 upon 8. Similarly, probability of A, E2, that is from first bag, 2 red balls are drawn. This means 5 upon 9 into 4 upon 8. Second time this was 8. Right? Now we substitute these values in the formula we have written here above. So probability of E1A has already occurred, equal to 1 by 2 into AE1 is 3 by 9 into 2 by 8. The same is written in the denominator, 1 by 2, 3 by 9, 2 by 8, plus sign. E2 is 1 by 2 into AE2 is 5 by 9 into 4 by 8. So what we see, 298 is cancelled in the 3. Moreover, 2 is also cancelled, so we are left with, in the numerator 3 is only left. In here also 3 plus 5 into 2, 10. So 3 upon 13 is the required probability. Question number 33, section D. If y is equal to x raised to power sin x plus sin inverse square root of x, then find dy upon dx. For the first term, let u is equal to x raised to power sin of x. Therefore, du dx is equal to x raised to power sin of x into derivative with respect to x of sin of x into log of x, which becomes x sin of x into first function. Derivative of log x is 1 upon x, plus second function derivative of sin x is cos x. Similarly, second part v is equal to sin inverse of square root of x. So dv upon dx, that is equal to sin inverse 1 upon square root of 1 minus x square, which becomes x, into square root of 1 upon derivative of square root of 1 upon x. So derivative of x raised to power 1 upon 2. So this becomes 1 upon 2 square root of 1 minus x into 1 upon x raised to power minus 1 upon 2, that is 1 upon square root of x. So adding these two, we have the required result. Coming to question number 34, limit pi by 6 to pi by 3 sin of x plus cos of x whole divides square root of sin 2x dx. Because of shortage of the time, as the video is becoming so lengthy, so I have solved this on this page. Sin of x plus cos of x, we have divided this into two parts. Thereafter, sin 2x in the denominator equal to 2 sin x cos x. The integrand becomes square root of tangent x plus square root of cotangent x. Taking square root tangent x common, we are left with 1 plus cotangent x. So now what we do, we put tangent of x equal to t square, so that secant square x dx is equal to 2t dt. That means 1 plus t square t raised to power 4 dx is equal to 2t dt. So this way this question is solved. So finally, before we have not taken the limits. Without taking the limits, I have written this with blue ink. After solving indefinite integral with c, we are writing here plus c, the constant of integration. At the final, we took the limit when we converted everything in terms of x. So this way we can solve the question. Our next question is question number 35. If the area between the curves x is equal to y square and x is equal to 4 is divided into two equal parts by the line x is equal to a, then find the value of a using integration. This is also explained on this page. Let x is equal to y square is the first curve, so y is equal to square root of x, mean to say this is the right handed parabola. So this is the line x is equal to 4, x is equal to a is another line which says that this divides the whole area into two equal parts. So we can say 0 to a under parabola up to x-axis, this blue inked shaded area is equal to black inked shaded area, that is a to 4, x is equal to a to 4. So solving this, we have a power 3 by 2 is equal to 4, that is a is equal to 4 raised to power 2 by 3 is the required value of a. Next question, or part, find x upon x minus 1 whole square into x plus 2 dx. Here by partial fraction, a upon x minus 1 plus b upon x minus 1 whole square plus c upon x plus 2. So equating the coefficients of like powers of x, we got the values of a is equal to 2 upon 9, b is equal to 1 upon 3, c is equal to minus 2 upon 9. So this way given integrand becomes a into 1 upon x minus 1 its integration plus b into 1 upon x minus 1 whole square plus c into x plus 2. So integration of 1 upon x minus 1 is log x minus 1. 1 upon x minus 1 whole square integration is log of minus 1 upon x minus 1, and last 1 upon x plus 2 integration is log x plus 2. So we can substitute the values of a, b, c from here. This is the required result. Next question, question number 36. Find the intervals in which the function f defined as f of x is equal to sin x plus cos x, where x is greater than or equal to 0, less than or equal to 2 pi, is strictly increasing or decreasing. So here first of all we find f dash x, which is cos x minus sin x. F of x is strictly increasing, it means derivative is greater than or equal to 0. So here it means tangent of x is less than or equal to 1. So at pi by 4 tangent x is equal to 1. So we write here 0 to pi by 4. Again from 5 pi by 4 this starts up to 2 pi, this tangent of x is less than or equal to 1. So the given function is strictly increasing when x belongs to closed open bracket 0 to pi by 4 union open closed bracket 5 pi by 4 to 2 pi, and in between pi by 4 to 5 pi by 4 open bracket the given function is strictly decreasing. Next question is, or part, prove that the radius of the right circular cylinder of greatest curved surface area which can be inscribed in a given cone is half that of the cone. So here suppose small r is the radius of the cylinder, capital R is the radius of the cone. So radius of the cone, because this is given, so this is constant. We are required to prove that small r is equal to capital R upon 2. So this is the diagram. Cylinder is inscribed inside the cone. So we see that triangle ABC, or we can say here triangle ADF and CEF, they are similar. So we write CE upon AD is equal to EF upon DF. So what is C? This is the height of the cylinder, and AD is the height of the cylinder. So height of the cone, that is considered to be equal to small h, equal to EF. This is radius of the cone minus radius of the cylinder, r minus r upon r. What is r? DF. DF is r. So from here height of the cylinder is obtained, that is CE is obtained. Now what is curved surface area of the cylinder? This is 2 pi r into height of the cylinder. So we substituted here this value, differentiating with respect to the variable. Only small r is the variable. With respect to r we differentiated. So substituting this equal to 0, we have small r is equal to capital R upon 2. At this value, double derivative, second order derivative is this is less than 0. So small r, that is radius of the cylinder, is equal to radius of the cone upon 2. That's all. Thank you very much.